In today's video, I'm going into how to set boundaries when people are pulling energetically at you. So not just if they're needing things from you in the real world, but also energetically when you're feeling that pull on yourself, and how to set up energetic boundaries for yourself. So, continuing on the series of this kind of desperate neediness this week of needing validation, needing approval, needing others outside of you to find your worth or your value or who you are, like looking outside of you rather than within. Today, I actually wanted to go to the reverse, where people are trying to get that from you. You know, when there's other people outside of you that are kind of clingy and pulling on you, and then certain ways that energetically their energy is pulling on you as well. And so when their intention is, I need this, I need this, I need this from outside of me, they're kind of pulling in stuff and pulling in energetically. And you'll be feeling that. And that's where at times it can be like, whoa, whoa, what's going on? I just want to run away from this situation, or I don't want to be around this anymore. And it's because they're needing this, thing from you, this, pulling on you. And they probably don't even realize that they're doing it. Again, like for myself, at a certain point, I was doing this too. And I would be like, I need this, and not even realizing that I was so pulling on these other people. And it was really because I needed them to meet my needs. I needed them to meet something in me that I wasn't finding in myself. But going to a couple of examples of someone, outside of you pulling on you. One example, I was sitting at a cafe one day and a woman came in and she was sitting down this counter from me. And suddenly I was like, whoa, whoa, what's going on here? And it was like she just was sitting there. But I energetically was like, whoa, this is so uncomfortable. Like, whoa, no, 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 I don't want this, and it to me was she wanted attention. And so she was pulling, on people to get attention. So she was then pulling on people around her, and it was quite, for me, a strong, like pulling. And I was like, rah, I don't like this at all. At the time, what I ended up doing was putting up energetic boundaries around myself. And so to set a couple of the energetic boundaries, first thing to be aware of is where your thoughts go, energy flows. So if your thoughts are around visualizing an energetic bubble around yourself, you will create this energetic bubble around yourself. And so I did that. I created the energetic bubble, but that still didn't work. And I was like, oh, this is like, she's still like, rah, right there. And so then I put up like this big wall, and it still was like, I felt like we were just duking it out, kind of energetically, like my force against her force. It's like, this is not happening. And so, some tricks that I have learned since then is trying out other ways, to, put up your bubble, but it's not about me fighting against her. It's about me getting in my own power and me getting into this place. And who cares about her? It's me getting into my power and into my strength, which also then means me stepping into my higher vibration. So, getting into a place of love in myself, or joy, or play, or like one of those, higher vibrations. And when I talk about higher vibration, you can imagine like fear or anger and really feel that. Like, what does that feel like when you're in the place of fear and anger or sadness? Those actually do have this feeling of like, oh, it's like a heaviness to it. Versus you get up to love and joy and you can feel the lightness in it. And that is the higher vibration. So you get into that place, you're at a higher vibration. that vibration of neediness pulling at you won't even compete. Like, it's just not even there. So getting yourself into, again, your own power, your own place of love, your own place of joy, and just being in you and not have the focus on, oh, they're pulling at me. And that was the thing I often would do, is I would put my focus on them and being like, I don't want this, it's their fault, it's them. It's like, no, 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 get into my place, and that doesn't matter. So a couple other tricks that I have played with over the years, or things that I have done, is not only, visualizing a bubble around me, I also have visualized like a keel of a boat. I think that's what it's called, a keel, where the energy will come at me and then just flow around me. So you can visualize that shape rather than it being a bubble. You can visualize it like, you're on the surface of the water and this energy is just flowing around you. As well, I play with white light, visualizing white light around me, and then white light actually has helped me become a little bit more invisible sometimes, So it's like getting into that white light. It's a very high or higher vibration. Also helps, like, there's people that just won't interact or deal with you. So, so it's a nice place to be in when you want to be in that kind of place. And especially, like, I lived in New York City for a while, and it's like having so many people around. It's like it was nice to be able to be in my own place, be right here in me, and not have all of these different energies coming at me. And a couple other tricks is grounding your energy. So really getting yourself grounded into the earth. And again, for me, not only getting grounded, it is about being in your power. So grounding helps you, and the earth will support you, being in your own power as well, in your own self. And when I talk about being in your own power, it's really knowing who you are. It's really stepping into your worth, your value, knowing your strength. And so over on my Patreon page, do take a look. Their link is in the dialog box below. But over on the Patreon page, I guide you through meditations or movement practices, body things, where we connect with our body and you get to know yourself, and knowing more than through, say, thoughts and stuff like that, but on a deeper level as well. And you can also play with setting these intentions, and you can word it in different ways. And when I say setting intentions, it's like I set up my energetic bubble, and then I say I am not allowing certain vibrations in. Like, I will not allow lower vibrations to connect with me. And it's just kind of like putting up a wall and an intention of only higher vibrations are going to connect with me, or only people, at my level are higher. It's ways and different ways of allowing in or not allowing, these certain things to come at you. And when I talk about like putting up this bubble, I've used the idea of the keel, and then I've also used like a bubble but with mirrors on it. Like, I visualize having mirrors all the way around the bubble around me, because the way I see that is when someone's energy comes at me, it bounces back, so it's not actually going to be able to enter. So another example of, these energies coming at you, I often will sit and be journaling when I'm at a cafe, and I would then get these guys that would sit across from me, but like at another table, and they're like facing me, and with them facing me, there was something about, and in, specific guys that had this energy of neediness, that I would feel it being pulled at me, like they wanted something from me, and they would not say anything, they would not talk to me, but there was this energy of like me being like, pulled at. And having that energy of being pulled at was like, oh, like this is not enjoyable at all. It was not nice, hey, I'm interested. Instead, it was like, I need desperately, so it was this polling that was, it was very, like, oh, this is not comfortable and creepy, it just, So in those situations, back, before I had these other tools set up or other techniques that I would use, what I would end up doing is either turning sideways, because there was something about me facing them directly as well, that the energy, the pull was quite strong. So, it was like, no, if I turn sideways, I could then also get into my own power and into my own space and, visualize and be more connected to myself when I turned. But a lot of times I actually would get up and leave, because, or like move to another table, because it's like, I don't like whatever this dynamic is here energetically between us, that I'm not going to interact with this. It's like I'm closing the door here, I shared that story as well as people that do possibly or are pulling on you and you don't even know it. Like they're not talking to you, they're not saying anything, but you might be feeling these things in you and that you're being pulled on energetically. And it's just, again, through their thoughts and their desires and their needs and a neediness of needing, again, from the outside world, that we want all of our needs met from the outside world rather than finding it within. And so not only are they trying to get it from you and not finding it from within themselves, as well, when I talk about setting up your boundaries, it really is about you and your boundaries are around you. It's not about them. It's not about keeping out the world. It's about getting into your own place and your power. So have a play with these different boundary settings or these different ways or techniques and see if any of these things work for you. I would also be curious. Do put in the comments below if you have techniques that you have used to kind of help, block your energies but keep you contained, and talking about contained, it's also knowing your boundaries, and knowing that you can have those boundaries and not having to have people, breach your boundaries, that you're allowed to have this for yourself. So thank you for joining me today. I am AmyC with You Finding You. And do hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you are enjoying and getting value out of these videos. And thank you again. See you in the next video.